That one promise is to provide 100,000 brunches for young men between the ages of 15 and 18 years old across the UK and countries in Europe and in the United States. 100,000 brunches, that's what we want to do. And we are going to show you what happens, the discussions that we have, and we just want to mark the change that happens. We want to hear from the people who benefit from this program.
I feel like it's really, really important for us to sit down and use the influence that we do have to have this conversation.
Spread awareness, because we're influencers, so we want to influence people that it is okay to talk about your feelings.
Right, exactly.
So, you know, I had down Kevin Freshwater, I had Bash the Entertainer, I had Alika, you know, I had my business partner Rob, I had a dear friend Ruben, I had my friend Pulse, you know, come down. I had my friend Ton Mazzoni, and this is just to name a few.
What is one thing that you wish you could have spoken about, but it was just like no-go area?
My weight. Okay. From like that age to like say 15 to 21, I was self-conscious. I used to like just wear baggy clothes to hide where my body was, and I didn't really do much activities in school because I thought I don't really want to do stuff. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I was just really embarrassed at times. Never took my top off. I was with baggy stuff, so you don't really see like the curves of the belly or the tits. You know what I mean? I got to the stage where I just didn't care. I didn't care how I looked. You know, we're all the same, to be honest. Even though you're skinny and I'm big, so there's no really difference.
And we had an amazing conversation, and we discussed everything from, you know, the things that we experienced when we were younger, emotionally, and we just felt like we couldn't actually have a conversation about it.
Especially, I come from quite an abusive background. Like my childhood, my dad was a drunken, abusive person, beat my mum. So when I was about 10 or 11 when she got away from that, and then we started a new life. And I think fitting in with the crowd that I grew up in East London, so it's a very like laddish kind of environment, and I think expressing feelings was one of the hardest things. And when I was 15, I was about 17, and my mum met a new fella and moved away, and then she moved to Brentwood and I stayed in Dagenham at the time. And it was the fact that she had just up and left. Like I felt like after we got away from my dad, and then my mum's now left, I feel like I've just been left. I've got the people that should be sort of supportive and around you. There's no one there who's got my back now, so I was all by myself.
At what age?
About 17. Because I had no one to turn to in that sense, especially being a young lad, and there's no one you can actually turn to talk about that. So I think definitely if there was someone at school or you could just open up to, because you're kind of led to believe that as a young man, you've got to man up. You're not expressing your feelings is a sign of weakness.
In doing so, and just discovering all the amazing things that happened, and the realizations that a lot of these young men had, I felt like it was important to come together with some people who are influential in the social media space, and to just basically have the same thing.
Yeah, it's weird because I went through a weird period because obviously 18, 19, Britain's Got Talent happened, and
it's amazing.
Obviously launched everything for me, but at the same time turned my life upside down in the sense that no one that I knew could relate to it. So no one knew how to handle that process. There was no one on the team side of the TV industry or management or anything that were guiding us through that. We were just in this tornado of like, this is amazing, and I'm working.
All the attention.
It was a dance, but there was no help. There was no support system to the things that were happening at the same time. So obviously we're gigging, we're performing, I'm dancing, I'm making people happy, and it's the best time of my life. But at the same time, I'm racking up this tax bill, for instance, that I have no understanding of, and that's hit me, and the stress of understanding that. But the next day I'm on stage, hey everyone, I'm doing this funny dance that everyone loves, but I can't pay the bills that are at home right now. So
I just wanted you to not only be in the space where you can be around these guys, and myself, you're always saying that you want to be around me and stuff like that, and I feel like there's a lot of mutual energy here, and I want Ruben to not only just like speak out, but I want you guys to be aware that this is someone who is incredibly talented and incredibly caring, but like how we didn't know how you felt right, at the time, he's been feeling some type of way. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of people rely on you because you are a beautiful person and because you are so talented.
What this campaign is all about is to show you guys the importance of young men having a space to discuss emotion, to explore emotion.
So I was probably about 16. I was in by myself for like 3 months. My mum was away on holiday, and she was meant to come back. So I cleaned up the whole house. Like, yeah, come ready. Then I got a call saying she'd been arrested, and that literally changed my life. Like I was living by myself for about 3.5 years.
At 16.
I had like my dad was hardly around, but he came every now and again to give me food or whatever, but I was literally by myself. I couldn't speak to anyone at school, go to school, like, yeah, hey guys, yeah, did you watch the match on the weekend? And going home, and then it's like I couldn't really have anyone around the house because it was just a mess. Like nothing was being washed up, like clothes were all dirty. I had to keep going to my auntie's house to get them all washed. And then when my mum came back, I sort of got into a routine of like me living by myself, like got into a routine of how I do things in my household. And then she came back and everything, it's like she didn't do anything wrong. So then things changed again mentally, and then it was just me struggling. I couldn't go uni or drama school or anything like that because I wasn't mentally there. Around me was just so happy, and I was like, why are you so happy? Like, what makes you different to me? So I took a lot of time out when I was younger. Sort of time away from people. Still attending workshops, and I was like, you know what? Acting is me. Like, this is what I'm gonna do.
I think sometimes we overlook the fact and sometimes dismiss the fact that our parents' opinions really do hold a great deal of weight
Oh gosh, yeah.
in our lives.
It wasn't until later on in life that you realise, especially again, like when my mum just met a fella and left, like same story as yours. I was just alone. I felt very alone, living still in the same place. I had no one around me, so I didn't want no one to know that I was weak and desperate for love. I'm really sad inside.
I've got certain issues in my life that I have found so easy to discuss with my friends, some of my colleagues, even girlfriends. And I just will never discuss it with my mum.
Yeah, absolutely. Same.
Point.
I get so emotional when it comes to turn my mum saying, I just get so, she's emotional, I'm emotional, and then I just cannot physically talk about certain things without it. The only time we can is if we've had a drink. If we've had a drink, then it's like, tell you all about yourself.
The thing for me that I've noticed is that, especially when I was around a lot of school kids, like sort of between year 9 and year 11, I realized that there's no forum, there's no room, there's no space for young men to exercise their emotional aptitude.
6 out of my life was between the ages of 17 to 18 when my, actually kind of, to speak about this quite, when my parents got a divorce. So it was kind of like we had the perfect family growing up, and we got to an age where my parents got to an age where they were just kind of weren't getting on, anymore. And sorry, I find it quite emotional talking about it. I think I need this. Like, I think I need to.
We're here for you.
Take a breath.
Excuse me, I might take a little bit to. And I also find it quite hard to speak in front of people as well. So
Brother, it's
I have
fine.
a bit of social anxiety. In that,
But this is good.
yeah, I think
good time,
conquering these kind of situations, like it kind of helps and grows good for it.
We felt that it would be really important for young men to get together and be able to have a space to express themselves, to discuss emotion, and not just to discuss it for the sake of just talking about it, but actually to help my brothers to develop a certain level of emotional aptitude.
I was an A-grade student, quite bright, like Yom said as well, the centre of attention in the class, being the class clown. I loved the kind of dramatic side of things. And so they got a divorce. It was quite my mum didn't want the divorce, my dad did. He just couldn't be there. There wasn't any sort of anything to it really. So my dad ended up leaving, and it was me, my mum and my sister living in the house. And from that age, I felt like I had to take on the role as being the man of the house. So, you know, from a young age and having to do that, it was quite a lot put onto me, you know, almost a lot, and all of a sudden. And, you know, I'd have it 3 in the morning, my mum would come into my room crying. I've got, you know, I'm studying for my GCSEs and it affected it a lot. I actually ended up, no, it wasn't my GCSEs, sorry. I did well my GCSEs. It was my A-levels to do, it's my AS levels. And I ended up failing the year, completely failed it. I couldn't, you know, when I wake up in the morning, I'd be so tired from everything and the exhaustion from everything. I just wouldn't even, you know, pay attention in class, wouldn't even turn up to a lot of it. And I went straight into sort of working life. I think that period of time, actually let me create the picture. So me and my dad actually had a really good relationship. So despite that, having that on my shoulders, me and my dad was like tight, like best friends. And I was more open with him and he was more open with myself. And I actually, because he went through a stress, like, because we're Italians, it's kind of like, if you have problems in your relationship, you kind of get over it. Whereas my dad literally couldn't be a part of that relationship anymore, and he had to end it. And I was the only person that kind of supported him during that kind of breakup, even though I saw what it was doing to my mum. I know deep down with my dad, it was very hard for him to kind of go through that. He was going through depression. He even admitted now, like quite recently, that he was felt a bit so suicidal. He felt trapped.
Society's created this like generic timeline of life, and like everyone has to follow this generic kind of thing. Where in theory, it's like everyone's got their own thing. Do you understand? So anyone that is supposed to, you know, be in line with that will join onto your path. Your assembly line of life.
100%.
Do you understand?
You make the right
assembly line of life. So
right.
therefore, as you're saying, bro, like your assembly way is going that way to a fantastic destination.
And mine's also going that way, so our paths have sort of...
Then we've kind of just in the factory it's like that, and we've all now just now we're here. Do you know what I mean? So
my thing is, you know, I think I kind of got a hold of this very early on because I always had a hard time socially in school. Like I had a difficult.
It's already changed a lot of people's lives over the years that we've been doing this running this organization. So now I'm really keen to see, you know, just how much more change we can make and how many more lives we can affect.